Hi. Hi. My name is Bethany. I am an artist. Yeah, hi. My name's Bethany. I'm an artist and I wanted to show you some of the things I've been making in my sketchbook. I'm attempting to start doing weekly little like art reports, and today I'm gonna do 2 weeks worth of art that I've put in my sketchbook. I'm really trying to finish a sketchbook before the end of the year, because one, I don't like it, and two, I'm gonna get some new sketchbooks hopefully. So I want to finish a sketchbook that I've had for a really long time. It's the Strathmore mixed media. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's just a little too big and the paper is a little too textured for my liking, but I'm still able to like feel comfortable working in it. I like more of, I like more of, this is a finished sketchbook. I like more of this size. This is more my jam. So trying to work through this one as quickly as I can, attempting to do 2 spreads a day, so 2 pages. No, 1 spread a day, total of 2 pages. Yeah, so far pretty successful. I've had this past week a pretty busy week, so not too many, which is why I feel like I can kind of do the past 2 weeks, like the week before this one, because I feel like it's okay. But yeah, I'm really trying to, let me move this back a little bit. There we go. I like that a little more. I'm really trying to do more art, and I want to also share it. I want to share my art and really like connect with people. I feel like that is such an important thing to do these days, especially for artists. It feels really like isolating to just kind of do art on your own without, I don't know, putting it out there. It's fun. It's fun. I feel like more people just need to share their art. You need, like, art making and sharing art is so great. It's always a net good in my opinion. I think more people should make art. I feel like more artists should share their work. It's so good for you to like be sharing and be open. So that's what I want to do. I feel like being a little more creative in sharing is so fun. So I am gonna be doing that today, and I hope y'all enjoy. Yeah, first off, I've had the sketchbook. How long have I had the sketchbook? I've had this sketchbook, I would say, about 2 years. So I've had different, yeah, things that I've made in it. Mostly been swatching and testing and like trying out color palettes. I would be painting something and then I wanted to test the paint and how it, like the brush strokes would work and all that. In the mixed media, it's really good paper. It takes like acrylic, it takes watercolor. I haven't tried oil, but I'm assuming it would take oil. I don't know. You try for me. I don't I don't do oil. I don't do oil paint. I don't like it. It's too much for me. But yeah, so I've done mostly just testing things in the sketchbook, and the past 2 weeks I finished the sketchbook, and I just, before I get any other ones, I really want to finish this one. So I started this sketchbook. I did a lot. I started really like getting into the mode of filling this sketchbook November 11th. Started with some observational sketches. I have this trinket shelf of just things that I've gotten from thrift stores or like yard sales, estate sales, things that I've also had like my whole life, and just kind of drew it in the morning. I had some incense, and then I went through one of my art books. If I'm looking off screen, it's my cats are running around. And it is windy. It is very windy outside. I just wanted to like fill this page with some observational sketches. I did ink, and then a little bit of the Posca pen, and then some of the Prismacolor to give it just a tiny bit more depth. And I really like how it came out. I did these silhouettes of the trinkets on like the lower shelf, and I really liked how that turned out. I think it was very inspired of me, because I didn't want to do every single little detail, but I also wanted to show that these objects were there. I did silhouettes, and I did a lot of like negative shapes, and I thought that looked very fun, and it didn't take away from the things that I had already done on the very top shelf. And then of course did a little copy of Alphonse Mucha. I love him. Little bird wings, some copies of the alphabet. Then on the same day I attempted to do some copies. This the underside of the jaw angle is, I am trying so hard to learn how to draw that. It's my white whale, being able to draw like the head from a lower angle. The neck just like Mucha does it, and then Leyendecker does it really well. So I'm always trying to figure that out. That is one of my biggest, like, I can draw the head pretty much at any other angle except for this one. I'm trying so hard. I'll figure it out. I know, I believe in myself. I'm getting there. And then I did some imagination drawings, things from my head, of a moment earlier that day where I had found a really big slug on a stump, and I just, it was a really great moment. It was a really great slug. I took some pictures of it, and I drew from the pictures too. And yeah, a little bit of a creation moment of me and the slug had a spiritual connection in that moment. And yeah, I really tried to capture that feeling with some of these doodles. And then the next day I still was trying to figure out that slug. He really had something going for himself, and I really want to like emulate that behavior in my own life. And then above that drawing, oh hello, hello there, Mr. Darcy. Oh, you're so stinky. Hi. I really tried to figure that out. And then above that, I just drew in ink a picture I took of a visiting my friend in Massachusetts. She works for a land trust, and we were able to really go around and find some really beautiful places while she was working, so that was really cool. And yeah, and I wanted to give it a little more depth, so I used some Prismacolors. I think it was probably, it was the pink, the process red, my beloved. I love the process red. Ugh. And then non-photo blue. Non-photo blue. Ugh. But yeah, and I kind of like how this page looks. They're different pictures, but they're combined together, and I felt very like good and grounded while I was drawing both of them, and that made me feel very nice. I really like lately focusing on the feeling of drawing as my main focus and having that feel good versus the finished product. Like, I prefer to feel good during the process of making something rather than the end result being the main goal, because there's no like guarantee that the time you spent making something is going to have the outcome that you want. So I feel like being really mindful of how you feel while you're creating something is something you can have a little more control over. How like the pace you're going at, the environment around you, how you've set that up, because you're going to be spending so much time making something and so little time kind of looking at what you have finished. And a lot of times the accomplished feeling at the end of making something that you really enjoyed the look of, that doesn't last the longest. But I think just like feeling good while you make art should be the norm. I feel like you shouldn't be suffering while you make art, because that's something I'm working on. And so far I feel like the past few years I've really been thinking about that. Yeah, so I feel like I'm really starting to get there, especially while I'm like drawing more from observation, drawing more from pictures and videos that I've taken, and just drawing from imagination more. I think has made it really, really nice for me. And then on this next page, I went outside and had a really nice time drawing some mushrooms on a big stump right by my house. And while I was out there, a huge murmuration flew over my head, and that was really good. I really love murmurations. I think they are one of the coolest things an animal can do. The next day I just drew, I think I watched a little bit of Sophie McPike's Scribble Brigade, and that was fun. She's so sweet. She's such a cutie. I might do more of that. It was a rewatch, like previous stream, so I didn't watch it live. And I just did a few. I think I just did one, yeah. And then I just drew a really nice box that sits on my desk, and I was kind of combining the two with like kind of like the 2 days. I was combining the box with the murmuration I saw the day before, and that's a fun idea. I might do more with that. And then the other day I took pictures of some of the birds around my house. There's a great blue heron that my family call, there's a bunch of them living near us, so probably like 3 or 4 different ones, but we just all call them Robert because of the boy and the heron. and Robert Pattinson being the voice of the heron. And yeah, so we just call them all Robert. Or if we think if it's like a two like bird, like a mating pair, we call one Robert and one Roberta, obviously. And then yeah, I was drawing some geese, and yeah, the first few drawings that I did, they weren't working out. So I think because I drew them too big too soon, I don't think it worked out that way. I think it was too tight, so I drew them smaller. And then a little reminder of just getting loose with the goose gang. Okay, had a brief pause because a neighbor came calling. And then I had some lunch, so little different energy. Hi, this is post lunch Bethany talking to you. Nice to meet you. So yeah, what was I talking about? I was doing some goose drawing. I had taken some pictures of some Canada geese, and yeah, I really liked the pictures and I wanted to capture them in my sketchbook. On Thursday, I misspelled Thursday. I didn't really know what to draw, so I decided, instead of spending a lot of time really trying to figure that out, I just you know, like finding like a reference photo, I just tried to remember the layout of one of the houses I used to live in, probably like between the ages of like 4 and 7, 8 maybe. So I just tried to draw that layout, try to draw like the family room, the entrance room, the kitchen where things were, and going from like the bottom floor to the upstairs, just like what do I remember, and try to like figure out the layout in my house, like a top, and then do like the top down perspective, very Sims coded layout. And I drew some of the cats that I had in that house. We had Sammy, Abby, and Marley. This cat Marley, he was so fat and he had like stomach cancer for years. So he would constantly have to get ultrasounds on his big fat tummy, and he would sit like a middle-aged man all the time with his giant stomach out. It was really silly, and he always had like his tongue out too. He was a great cat. We called him Mar Binks, after one of the most important Star Wars characters, Jar Jar Binks. And then yeah, the next page on Friday, I was having a hard time. I was drawing some trees that I had taken, and oh yeah, I think no, this was Saturday. No, yeah, I wasn't feeling it that much today, but I still drew a picture of some like frog figurines that I saw at like a, not so much as at a consignment shop. And then I think that morning we had a really beautiful like giant full moon, and it was huge, and the sky was purple and yellow, and it was just really pretty, so I tried to draw that. And then let's see, yeah, on this page, I am riced up. I am kind of sleepy. on this page I drew my kitty cat, Mr. Bingley. He's a very sweet cat and he likes to sit in this basket right here. He's very sleepy, so I drew him. And then I drew, oh yeah, this tree. I was driving, I think, where was I driving? I may have been driving to, I drove to the library at like sunset time, and I took like a back road that I'd never take before, and it drove me right by a cemetery, and the setting sun was like super red, and so I was able to take a picture of it before it like went too low, and it was still like touching the tops of the trees. It was so cool. So tried to draw a little bit of a picture that I took. Sometimes pen is really great, but sometimes it can be very limiting, and I feel like I need to sketch more with paint. Now we're getting into this week, Sunday, November 17th. And I did a lot of, this was a very doodly couple days. Doodly, it was a busy week. It was very doodly at the beginning though. I love drawing wings, so I drew, I think I was drawing over something, like I drew something to like test a pen, and then I kind of made it into a drawing. And then I do a lot of, I want to eventually get tattoos. I don't have any right now, mainly because I don't have money. So I just like drawing potential tattoos that I would get. I definitely want to get tulips, but there was an idea to do like something for the neck. I thought it would be cool to get like almost Medusa-y, like snake, like, you know, when you have like your hair up and you have baby hairs, kind of like that idea, like behind, like just little snakes peeking out, almost like she's hiding something. So I don't know, I just kind of like that. Maybe not for me, but just playing around with an idea. And then I really got into like the tulip stems having like a pattern to them, like an interwoven pattern. And so I did that on the other page, and then the next day I really got into it. Like I really was trying to figure it out. So the first page was just a little playful with watercolor, and then the next page I like spent so much time just doing that, and it was so relaxing. It was a really great time. I started doing them, I didn't intend for them to be like space like this or like blue, red, blue. It just kind of happened that way. And yeah, so I started mostly with pencil, and then I would go over with the ink, and I just really liked how it, I really like how it looks. I think it's so pleasing, and it was very fun to do. I need to do a little bit more of this and really figure out this pattern and how I want it to, like, I kind of want to start incorporating it back into the tulips. Just like play around with those kind of motifs and patterns. I really like that kind of stuff. And then yeah, back on my pattern, and like it's kind of like a Celtic knot, but I wasn't looking at a Celtic knot. It's like lattice work mixed with a Celtic knot mixed with just weaving patterns. And then I drew like my at burgers on ice. Okay, don't know what that means. I was just realizing that I never drew a Jeep before, so I just try to draw one. That's pretty much. And then yeah, this is when the week of ordeal happened. This week got very busy and very hectic because my mom had a hip surgery that just kept getting rescheduled. So we knew she was getting a hip surgery for weeks, almost a whole month. It was scheduled for a specific day. Then it got rescheduled like 4 times. Still happening on the intended day, but so much stress. So I spent between Tuesday and Friday, I spent pretty much like all, like, yeah, Wednesday and Thursday were basically just staying in the hospital with my mom while she was getting this all taken care of. Everything's good. And yeah, so now I did some drawings on my desk. I have this little characters called crones, and they're little like crow gnomes, and I really love them. I love them so much. So while I was doing like an observational drawing of my desk that morning, I was like, what if there was like a little guy? What if my little crone was peeking, was doing a peek? So I put him in there, and then I don't know, I just thought that the Don't Rush would be fun knuckle tattoos to have. I think about tattoos so much. I think they're so cool, and I want some so bad. And then the night, these are all doodles that did at night. I was having some weird body feelings, so I was just trying to, I don't know if they really, the first like 5 didn't capture how I was feeling, and then I drew the wolves, and that really captured how I was feeling. Man, there's something about it. I love, yeah. I really like how these wolves came out. They're so funny. And yeah, see, that would be fun to do more of. I really like I give them like human hands. I can't talk about, I have a thing with giving animals hands. I think it's so funny. Yeah, so yeah. Hi, it's the next morning. I'm editing this video. Realized super ooper duper did not record an outro. I intended to record an outro the same day. Did not do that. But if you're still here and you watched the whole video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for spending your time with me. Yeah. Mwah. I hope you have a good rest of your day.